This boy was bullied by a group of thugs at school. His timid nature made him too afraid to fight back. But what the bullies didn't know was that the boy had a retired Special Forces brother. When David learned that his younger brother Mike was being bullied, he asked Mike to point out the bullies. With his brother's support, Mike confidently pointed at the group of thugs nearby. To teach these bullies a lesson, David followed them in Mike's car. Soon, they arrived at a bar, where David raised his hand to call the bartender and ordered a ladies' cocktail for each of the bullies. The bullies felt insulted and walked over, holding their drinks. After thanking David, one of them splashed the drink right into David's face, which startled Mike. But David didn't seem to care. He wiped the drink off his face, smiled, and then quickly splashed chili water back onto the bullies. He stood up and patted one of them on the shoulder. He showed no mercy to those who had bullied his brother, each move leaving a lasting impression on the thugs. In less than a cup of tea, all the bullies were lying on the floor. David calmly helped Mike up, threw down $200 as compensation for the damages, and walked out with Mike. You might think David is Mike's real brother, but he wasn't. David was actually Mike's older brother's comrade in arms. 2 weeks ago, Mike received the tragic news that his older brother, Brown, had died during a mission. Since then, Mike's mother, Laura, had been mourning her son's death. One day, David suddenly appeared at their house, introducing himself as Brown's comrade and pointing to himself in a photo that Brown had left behind. Upon learning that David was her son's comrade, Laura warmly invited him to sit down. She was eager to learn more about her son, and David expressed a wish to stay at their house for a few days. David didn't refuse, and the daughter was not opposed to David's presence either. However, the husband felt uneasy about this unfamiliar man suddenly appearing in their home, leading to an argument with his wife. Mike also showed some friendliness, and later, after drinking a few drinks, he began to talk to David about his work. He said he had been with his company for 4 years, but never received any recognition. A newcomer, however, quickly became the regional manager just because of their degree. Mike complained about the unfairness of the world, but his casual complaint struck a chord with David. A few days later, Mike's husband, Blair, returned home and went straight to the kitchen to drink. He told his wife that his boss had died in his rental apartment the night before. The police had ruled out foul play, concluding that it was a suicide. No one knew what had happened, but his boss's death indirectly led to Mike's promotion, as he was now the obvious candidate for the regional manager's position. This surprised his wife. That evening, Mike's daughter invited David to join her and the family at a class reunion, which David happily agreed to.